Hello, World of Tank Blitzers. It's Littlefinger, and yes, time for a review of the KpfPz70, which you see here in the garage. Really nice looking tank, Tier 9 Premium. Why is it time for this review, you say? Well, if we go up to the store and go up to bundles, it is back in stores here for $15, along with the 55A and the K91. Of the three, this is my least favorite. However, it does have that uniqueness factor to it because it is a heavy tank with a 152 millimeter gun. You've got great speed for a heavy tank, but your armor is questionable. And, you know, I've always talked about having tanks with high reload times and that not being my playstyle, and that is why I don't recommend this tank unless you're just a true collector. But let's go through this review and give you some other pointers on how to play it if you do already own it or if you do want to buy it. Repair kit, multi-purpose and adrenaline, provisions chocolate, improved fuel chocolate bar, ammunition. You can see I'm running 23, 12, and 15, buying that heat with credits. You'll never need this much ammunition. This gun takes forever to load. Running calibrated shells because your pen numbers are not good. A defense system, improved optics, running enhanced gun lane drive because our dispersion and aim time are horrible. We've got improved assembly just because I don't think the armor really works on this tank, so there's no point trying to enhance that. Engine accelerator, refined gun, toolbox, and consumable delivery system. Alright, here's blitzstars.com. Just run through this real quick. DPM 2000. Look at this. 30% higher is the K91, which is a tank I would recommend if you're looking for a Tier 9 heavy. These other non-premiums, you know, you're going to be 13 to 15% higher in DPM. So keep that in mind. You cannot run on the front lines with this tank. Your pen is not as good as the rest of these tanks, which is why you have to run the calibrated shells, and you can't run the gun rammer. But obviously that does help your HE pen. If you look at this, 640, and you get this up to 99, whereas the APCR is 560. So keep in mind, there's 80 hit point difference between your APCR and HE. So really not a lot to me. So the trade-off of missing an HE and not penning and getting splash damage is pretty considerable. So keep that in mind. Obviously, we mentioned it's a 152 millimeter gun. Your shell velocity not great here at 920. So again, that doesn't aid well in playing on the back lines either. Aim time 226 is right up there towards the middle. Dispersion is at the worst of these tanks. Gun depression 6 degrees. It's okay. Don't really run into too much trouble with that. Where the tank excels here is 40 kilometers per hour as a top speed with a power to weight ratio of 16. So you're going to get up to that top speed. It's very much like the IS-8. Obviously, which has a faster top speed, but acceleration wise it's like your IS-8 and M103. Camo numbers not great. And then again, if we go down here to your armor numbers, they're not great either. So this is not a heavily armored heavy tank. And so therefore, again, you can't afford to play it on the front line with such a long reload and a low damage per minute number. Alright guys, here we are, first game on Port Bay, and if I can impart just one piece of wisdom in this tank, it's do not be overly aggressive. This game is a stinker, and you're going to get to watch it unfold quite quickly. Now, obviously everyone knows that on this map, fighting for the corner is critical. We've got two T-62As, we've got a Sheridan and myself, and yet it's just me and the T-62 leading the charge here. So right off the bat, you see we can get up to top speed, we can hang with the mediums if we want to, but their Sheridan's already in the corner. And yet we're going to continue to push, and this is my fault. Look at our mini map. Just look at our mini map. All of our tanks are hanging back. Well, what's that means? That means that the enemy red team there is going to be able to push on us without anyone slowing them down. And me missing, you know, a 560 damage shot is huge. I've got a mega penalty for having this super long reload. And now I'm kind of panicked. I'm getting shot and missing another shot. So they've pushed the corner. There's nowhere I can go to get to safety. You know, it's just you have to be more cautious in this tank, and that's all I can really say about it. That Sheridan's gonna peek around the corner and dare to drop a missile into me. And here comes the 183. And you know, this game is going to be over, and I'm only going to land one shot. Now, I might have been too aggressive, but my team certainly didn't help and keep the enemy back. They just let them push. And look at that, our T-62 has flanked. And our Sheridan, yeah, well, you can see him there. He's sitting in the back corner. So, team did not play this well, but then again, this is my fault for not reading that mini-map and just waiting and playing more of a defensive game. And so here we're going to get started as top tier on Himmelsdorf in a supremacy game. And quite honestly, guys, I played 4 battles in this Saturday. Today is Monday. And, you know, I'm going to put all 4 of these games up. This is not a tank that, you know, I go to saying, oh yeah, I can't wait to play this tank. If I'm playing tier 9, I will certainly pull it out and get a win in it and make some nice credits. But apart from that, you know, this is not my play style. I don't like the super long reloads. I don't like the extra penalty that imposes on you for missing your shot. So nobody went B, so I decided I'd go ahead and get B. Again, keeping to my mantra of that first game I played, I learned my lesson, and I said, you know what, I'm not going to the front line, even though I am top tier. So I'm hanging back, and it looks like they've all gone down the heavy line. And this Pershing, yeah, I'm not sure what he was doing, because he just decides to YOLO through the middle here. And really, I looked at his stats going, this must be some terrible player. He was a almost 60% player, but guess he just made a poor decision, kind of like I did on that last game. So this sets us up now to go ahead and push on down the heavy side. We're up 2 tanks now. So you can see there, 15.7 seconds is my reload, and look at all this red on the Tiger 2. You know, it's a tier 8. Granted, that's the heaviest of the tier 8 tanks as far as armor goes, but I mean, that is just solid red. Now remember, you've got a 152mm gun, so you've got nice HE splash damage. Don't even really need to worry about aiming. And we finish him off with a HE shot. We did take one from the IS-8, but I'll take that trade for a kill. Again, we've got another low health E75. Finish him off. And yeah, this game was fairly quick. 2 of my shots did not do much damage at all because we got kills out of them. But you can see we do get a little bit of a bounce there, just face hugging that IS-8. So 2,400 damage, 38,000 credits made in that game, just over 1,000 EXP. Alright, so rolling into the third game here on Castilla. Again, we are bottom tier, just like that first game, which didn't go so well. And as I'm not keen on playing this as a true heavy, I am going to run with the mediums here. And that is the nice thing with, you know, 40 kilometers per hour. They're going to be in the 50s, but we're going to be able to hang with them. And it looks like just our IS-7 going off alone on that heavy side. And this does turn out to be a little bit different of a game as far as, you know, the meta of how it's typically played. You'll obviously see that here in a few minutes, but we're going to run around the corner, and sure enough, we've got a tank spotted in between B and C. Must be our IS-7 spotting him. So instead of going up the hill, I am going to cut across the side here. And look at this object. He is being eager, aggressive, and we managed to get a quick snapshot into him there, leaving him on 250 hit points already. And look, to my right, they've already pushed into our spawn. I take a shot, and I just hate when people pull in front of me when I am aiming. But we managed to bounce one of those from the T-57, and I see the T-54 push around the backside. So these guys have been super aggressive with their driving. We're going to take one up the ass for our pleasure of coming in to protect our RHM, who did get one shot, but you heard there misses that second shot. So we save the Waffentrager there, not RHM. We save him. Although I'm not sure how much it was worth. He's going to take another shot and do no damage again. But yeah, to the armor on this tank, really haven't spoken much about it. Obviously, the lower plate is the biggest weakness. If you can keep that hidden, you're golden. With all of the rounded edges there on the turret, you are going to get some significant bounces. And I'm expecting that Sheridan just to run into my aim, and so we'll time the shot to finish him off. And we've got the 183 there, and the Waffentrager goes down. But this game does end up being pretty close in the end, and I just want them to come around. I can't really get down there in time to protect the 183, and I want them to push around the corner here because I'm in such a great, nice defensive position. And our T-62 says, "Hold my beer, I'm running in there like a wild man or something." So I feel like I can't stay there. And again, we're going to get down low, trying to keep that lower plate covered. And oh my god, look at all that red. We can barely pen the front with heat. Our T-62 took a pounding though. Better you than me, bro. And this is where I just want to get guns out of the game, right? Take a huge shot from the Yagaroo, but want to get this ST-1 out of the game. And he's killed there, so we'll get one more shot into the Yagaroo and go down hard, so to speak. But we did manage to get that down to a 3-on-1, and so these guys, even though they are fairly low health, are going to be able to finish this off, not without watching the magician, the Progetto, come through and say, "You want some damage? I'll give you 1,500. Jesus. And then I'll bounce a shot. I won't even get the kill. It's like, seriously, guys. And that's why, again, you shouldn't rely on your team to finish it off like that. So I was fortunate to be able to pull out a win. 3,000 damage, just over 1,000 EXP again. Alright, so this is the last game I played on Saturday. You can see top tier on the new Yukon map. And quite honestly, pretty consistent. Outside of that first game, which I did, I think, 580 damage on one shot because I was too aggressive. This game we're going to finish up right around 3,000 again. So, hey, if you're going to take a tank and be able to do 3,000 damage each time, that's a pretty good thing if you ask me. But again, it really does come down to playing it right. You can see I'm on the front, but I'm just going to wait. I'm not going to push myself into danger. I'm going to let those guys go around on the right side. And I do like this side of the map. It does offer a little bit more hard cover with all of these buildings and less angles to get sniped from. KpfPz is spotted, but this Progetto gets the corner, and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to fight him for the corner. I'm not going to pull out around the corner there because I don't know who else is looking. So as we're coming through, we get the WZ-111 TD spotted up and get a nice little snapshot in there. So as far as it goes, the aiming on this hasn't been that bad. That one's just a little bit unfortunate. It was aimed a little bit too low. Should have been aimed a little bit higher. But obviously with fast moving tanks you saw in the first game on that AMX, small target, fast moving, it does make it a little bit tricky. So they're pushing on our defender. I'm not sure why he's so far back. And whoa, that's a lot of tanks pointing at me. So yeah, let's find some cover. And again, you're gonna bounce a few shots. This E75, appreciate you showing me your side. Let's get into the building here, shall we? I've got the KV4 on the other side to protect me. We'll just angle off of here as best we can. Oh, we pulled out too far. Not smart, not smart. We need to take a little bit more care now. Our hit point pool is a good bit lower now. Let's get this guy out and pull back in. So you see, it doesn't take much to get up 2,300 damage when you're doing 500 to 600 a shot. Oh, now we got a missile aimed at us. Nice. Finish him off, but now we're down to 300 hit points. And this is the nice thing about this tank. When you're up against the mediums and lights, they will bounce considerably if you're hiding that lower plate. So we'll get one more in there. 600 damage. KpfPz finishes him off. And as I said, pretty consistent there. So it's got the maneuverability. It just does not have the armor. It's got a fun 152 millimeter gun that dishes out big damage. But the penalty is huge if you do miss. So my preference is the K91, which has much higher DPM. You've got a 3-shot autoloader. You can dish out the damage, hide back in there, and be a little bit more aggressive frontline heavy ply style in that tank than you can in this KpfPz70. So with that, guys, have fun out there, stay safe, get educated, not fingered. Littlefinger out.